Hello everyone, welcome to You Can Automate. In this session, we are going to learn about APM Inspector. What is APM Inspector and how to install it and how to use it for inspecting the different elements, and we'll use some of the application and how it provides more information about any given application. Right, so let's begin with that. So first thing is, what is APM Inspector? APM Inspector is a GUI tool that is used to get the element details of any given mobile application. So for example, you are using any of the apps, say Amazon, Flipkart, or your the project which you are working on where you have a mobile application, and if you want to automate it using APM, first you need to install the APM Inspector. That means it will help us to provide it will help us to know some of the information about the applications, like elements of this. For example, there is a button, there is a text box, right? What is its properties, what name it has, so that we can interact with element, right? And this is a visual inspection application, right? It will help us to know the elements in a visual way, right? And how it helps is it shows the application page screenshot along with its page source and features. Whenever you use a APM inspector and target to any given application, it will scan the entire page source and it will display you, so that you can just click on that element and you will know the element details about it, right? And it provides a various ways of interacting with elements. This APM inspector provides different types of ways you can interact. That means you can interact with the element by using ID, name, class, iOS chain, like that. It provides various information about it. So we'll see in detail further. So before going to APM inspector, we need to first download any of the sample applications, so that on top of that we can try this APM inspector. So this is a sample URL. If you go to Google and just search for any of the iOS sample applications, it will provide a lot of information, right? So I have picked up one of the application here, that is UI catalog. So this is a basic application, kind of a sample application. To start with that, we can start with, later we can go for other application. So I'll copy this URL and go to my browser. This is a GitHub public repo. You can just go and access it. What I will do, I'll just go to this code and I'll click on this copy. I'll copy the entire GitHub URL. So I'll go to terminal here and I will clone that repository whatever I've downloaded. The command is git clone and the entire which you have copied here. So it is downloading all the entire repository. That repository is downloaded. So as soon as you download the complete project, go to the location where you have downloaded the project. Go to this UI catalog, UI kit catalog. Inside that you will have one file called UI kit catalog.xcode proj. Right click on that and open in Xcode. And this is how it looks like when you open the particular project in the Xcode, right? And what you do is just click on this play button with the simulator whatever you have it. So it will say that building started, and it says that building succeeded. Initially it will take some time to run the application and install the application in the simulator. Let's wait for some time. So here you see application got installed and it opened the application also. It has given some of the sample web elements to interact and to write some of the test cases to understand how APM inspector works and how the application works. So we can play with this particular application. What is the next step? Right. The next step is to install the APM inspector. So here it is a GitHub URL is given. Go to this GitHub URL. So here this is the latest version of the APM inspector, and here you can go ahead and download this Mac x64 DMG, right? Just download it and install this application in your system. Now we have downloaded the APM inspector. Now we need to start using the APM inspector to inspect the sample application which we have launched just now. So after downloading, I'll just try to open the APM inspector whatever we have. So this is how APM inspector looks like. So let's talk about this APM inspector. This is the host. That means where this APM inspector is running and where the APM server is running, right? That is the host it is given. By default, it will be a local, it will be pointing to a local one. As we are running both APM and APM inspector in the same machine, so no need to modify anything here. And this is a one like where you are running your APM server, right? You need to mention the port of it. It can be anything. Normally it takes 4 digits of a number. I'll show you how to run the APM server and how to add the details here, right? And this is one remote path. If you are running your APM server somewhere else, some other machine, some other node, then you can mention that one. But here we are running the APM server in the same machine, so that no need to more update anything here. Now, after that, what we need here is we need to start our APM server. APM hyphen P is a port where you want to run. Right, I'll mention 4727 is my port. So this is how the APM server starts, and if you take a look, by default it is running in this location. By default, no need to mention anything. And it is also saying what are the different drivers available, right? And in the previous session we have installed XUI test drivers. Those all details are mentioned here. Now we have APM inspector, we have started the APM server also. Now we need to inspect the sample application and we need to identify some of the elements here. So how to inspect the sample application? The capability builder, we need to add some of the capabilities. That means we need to provide some of the details of the simulator. What is a simulator and what is the ID of it and what iOS version it is using. All that details we need to provide. So let's add those details here. Platform name. Platform name is iOS, right? And this is one of the capability I'm adding. After that, I need to mention the platform version. So for that, I need to prefix with APM here. APM colon platform version. Here I can mention 18.0. You can see here what is the platform iOS version it is saying. If you are having a higher version, that also you can mention, but whatever version you have it, you need to mention that. Click on another one, and here I need to mention APM colon device name. So what is the device name I have? iPhone 16 plus. Let's mention that. iPhone 16. Okay. What is the next capability? Here I need to mention automation name. APM colon automation name. I will mention that XUI test because we are working on iOS version. That's why I need to use the XUI test framework which is provided by Apple. That's why I'm mentioning here as XUI test. Now the next capability is UDID. UDID is nothing but the unique ID of this simulator. Every simulator or device will have a unique ID for it. So we need to mention where this application is running, what is its ID. That unique ID we can get it from Xcode. Go to your Xcode, open the Xcode, and there is something called window. Click on the window, and there is something called device and simulator. So it is showing device and simulator. Click on the simulator, and here as of now I have two simulators. One is iPhone 16, another is iPhone 16 plus. So I'm using iPhone 16 plus. So let me copy this identifier, whatever it is showing. Copied this ID. Now let's go back to APM inspector here. As you enter the desired capabilities, if you see here right hand side, it is presenting in a JSON format also. Whichever way is easy for you, you can refer that. Now, what I will do is I'll click on this save as, so that in future use also I can use this. Now my APM server is already running with this port and I'm done with all the capabilities. I'll click on start session. And once you click on start session, if you want to observe the terminal, what is happening, lot of logs are coming. That means this APM inspector is trying to interact with the APM server and with the provided details, whatever details we have provided, it is interacting with it, right? And once it makes a connection with the simulator with the given details, it will load the entire page source. This is how it looks like. So if you want to know any of the details of the element, just tap on this element and it will show the details of it. So this element got highlighted here, and this is the details. It is having accessibility ID as alert view, and it is providing the XPath also, right? right? It is saying that accessibility ID button view controller and details about it. You can also cross check whether the accessibility ID is working properly or not, right? Copy this accessibility ID, go to this magnifier icon where you can search for element, and here it is providing the list of ways of interacting with the element. There are a number of ways you can interact with the element, and here the one which we copied is accessibility ID, so that means we need to put it under ID and just click on search. So it will go and search that element, and it is showing that the element is found. There are two options given here. Again, if you want to just see it whether it is working or not, you can click on tab in the application. The tab operation will happen, and it will go to the next screen, right? So like this, by using APM inspector, you can interact with the application, you can know the application details, you can know the element details, and by using that you can write a better script, right? So this is about the APM inspector, how to install and how to inspect the sample application. So go through it, try these all these things, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.